Yo, it's your boy Logos. And today I want to react to Auburn Preach in this video they made a few days ago talking about just Pearly things, saying that she's always been a clown. I'm curious to see why. I have done reactions to her videos before. It's almost been about a month or two since the last time I did it, simply because of the fact I've been on Thomas Sowell heavy, and I've been more about putting out political, social knowledge and stuff like that. But I'm going to get back to reacting to some of her videos too. So I'm curious to see what they got to say about her. I disagree with some stuff she says, but for the most part, I have agreed. So let's see what they got to say.
What do you think
I want to think about what?
about her getting in trouble?
It was bound to happen.
What she
Okay,
got
if
in
you aren't
trouble
aware,
for?
Was bound
just
to
Pearly Things, the lady who's 26, unmarried, single, career-driven, and constantly tries to educate women on how to be submissive and married by 25, has gotten in trouble recently. Not for not taking her own advice and being the opposite of whatever the fuck she preaches, but more so for having Nick Fuentes, who's a white supremacist.
Really?
Anti-Semite.
Okay, listen. I watched that whole podcast that they had on Rumble or whatever. He said a lot of crazy wild ass shit, but I really have no problem with her having him on because I rather have people like him talk their nonsense publicly. That way we can openly debate them and openly debunk them. So I'm not gonna get mad at somebody for having somebody on their show and people getting butthurt and want to cancel her because of that. Like seriously, give me a break. She didn't agree with every single stuff he said or every single thing that he said. So I don't understand the issue with just having him on. The same thing with like Kanye. Like you don't have to agree with Kanye to have him on your show. You can just have him on your show to see what he really has to say without being interrupted by commercials or somebody that's biased against him that's asking the questions. I'm still going to watch it because I want to see what he got to say. Even if it might sound crazy, it's still some knowledge or maybe it's just some perspective that might be there. You could still can.
On her platform. And basically, when she invited him on the platform for an interview, she didn't push back against any of the stuff that she said. Basically, was co-signing him.
And I just like to say, when you come on, Pearly Things, yeah? All right? We've got best smoke for you. And where you now?
Listen, you've sat down and you've ate off just Pearly Things by tagging us, yeah? And your production is not our production. Our production is big out here. You get me? I got bare smoke for you lot, bro. Both of you lot. I got smoke for Abba and Preach, bro.
You ain't saying shit now, right?
I'm pretty sure this dude's unemployed now.
You ain't saying shit now.
Yeah.
If you come in, cause
She fired his ass.
when you come for Pearly Thing, where you now? Where's the smoke? Where's your cigar? Where's your cigarette? Where is it? Because when you come from one of us, yeah. And what about when people come from one of y'all? What's she gonna do? Nothing.
Listen, I'll say this about Pearl.
Fuck out of here, clown.
I think it's wild that people have an issue with her right now when she's made her entire career on clowning black women.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now that she said something about black people as a whole, y'all got an issue. But when she was clowning black, I remember this girl used to have videos back in the day. She used to hit me up all the time. I never really responded much. She used to hit us up and she's like, oh, I want to interview you guys. You know, I got one of the fastest growing podcasts in the world. This is like when she had like 100K subs. And she had this video. She's like, look at this video. It's going viral. And it was her talking to this black woman telling her how ridiculous she is. And on the face of it, it's like, all right, whatever. It's fine. But when I started seeing her try to do the new come up where she transitioned from what she used to be, which was before her videos were like, whitest girl in the world reacts to new rap song. Whitest girl in the world reacts to ABBA and Preach. I'm like, okay, this racial dynamic that she keeps playing into is corny and cringe as fuck. But she saw it as a marketing ploy. That was her in to get in, right? She then transitioned to the next step.
It is a marketing ploy.
Oh, I see what Kevin Samuels and some of these other red pills are doing. Let me try to emulate that. So she inserted herself and she was just talking. And I was like, y'all don't find it fucking weird that a white woman who grew up in a extremely wealthy in some rural part of America, okay?
So I'm gonna show you the front of the house. So I wish I could like be in these videos, but I could not find a sibling that felt like
is making her career giving marriage and life advice as some young 22, 23-year-old to older black women. I'm like, you ain't got...
It's not just older black women. If you watch I don't know, I feel like if you just watch the video as anybody, you can listen to it and take pieces of it that you want to take out. I don't know, I wouldn't have known about Pearly Things if my girlfriend didn't show it to me. And she's a black woman. So I don't really see the whole anti-black woman thing. there are a few black women on there that I can immediately think of that said a lot of wild ass shit repeatedly, and I don't think it has anything with Pearly because she didn't make them say anything at all. So, and I really don't have no issue with her like growing up being rich. Like, I feel like we're all trying to be successful. So to say because you came up from wealth, your opinion matters less is kind of like this whole negative wealth thing we have in this current generation. But maybe that's not necessarily what I was trying to say.
Any Asian, any Latinos, white women to critique? No, black women. So I was already looking at her a little bit weird, and she invited me a bunch of times. I never wanted to go on.
Oh yeah, let me be clear too. I've only really watched her videos since she started doing this whole podcast type stuff with like guests and stuff like that. I never went back and watched her old stuff because that's not really relevant to the stuff that I put out. So any stuff she did back then, I'm really not that aware of. So I really just comment on the current videos and stuff that seems relevant or interesting for me to talk about. I'm not really trying to dive into these people unless it's a topic that is relevant.
My man's 28 going on 80, and I don't want that to be you guys. And that's why today's sponsor, T.H. Henley's coming in.
Oh, 28 going
I
on
get
80?
compliments
Wow.
on my skin all the time. People be asking, what's your skincare routine? How do you get your skin? And for a lot of fellas, talking about skincare is a little bit awkward because either we're too ashamed to do it or it seems a little bit too feminine. But
Bro, take care of your body. If you want a partner, a woman to be attracted to you, look good. Feel good when she put her hands on you. That's not a feminine thing. It's just a normal human hygiene thing.
But the truth is, having rough skin or having all these little
That's
dents
not good.
everywhere isn't something that you necessarily want, especially if it's things that you can easily avoid through very, very good products. I recommend going through that process. And that's where T.H. Henley comes in. They got a great system in place where you can use their products to achieve your skincare goals. I personally recommend that you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash, which gets rid of all the dirt and grime on your face. Then you got a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of all the dead skin cells. And an AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because we all need to make sure that our skin is protected from the sun. And the cool thing about T.H. Henley is all their boxes come with instructions. In addition to amazing skin, members of T.H. Henley get tons of benefits like at least 20% off retail price, the ability to pause or cancel at any time, as well as free US shipping. And
Look, this sounds like a good product if you can like afford it, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm a cheap motherfucker. So I use facial wash and moisturizer from Walmart and I get like the charcoal kind and it still works perfectly fine for me and my skin. So you can still get some good like hygiene care at your local place, but if you also want to go through them and support them, that's good too.
Because T.H. Henley is sponsoring today's video, if you go to the link in the description below, not only will you get all the benefits that I just listed, but you'll also get a free gift with your purchase. Don't wait. Rub out that face so you can actually start looking fresh.
Trying to find the thing, but
What thing?
her old thing.
You can't. That Instagram got deleted.
Even though you can still find the conversation if someone's still getting it.
No, after a while you can't. It just says Instagram user.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't find it. How would you find it if it just says Instagram user? You'd have to scroll,
scroll
all the way
back,
down.
yeah.
And you're not going to go through general. There's hundreds of DMs.
Oh, it's in general?
Yeah, I didn't put it in.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to this bitch. Why I put her in the primary? She going to general. Fuck her. Fucking dweeb. This girl was corny to me.
Dream.
Do I think she's a grifter? Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I don't think she believes half the stuff that she says that comes out of her mouth. Her friends, her family have already come out and said stuff against her, and she's made up certain aspects of her life. But more importantly...
Oh, for real? Okay, see, I don't know that because, like I said, I don't try to get in people's personal life. I just react to the content and give my perspective on it. I don't know about, conflicting stories or backgrounds or, story missions or GTA missions or anything like that. I just know about the content she put on the channel and whether or not the people or the stuff she says makes sense or not to me.
I don't know. You just see the switch up that she's done over the last 2 years. And it's been fascinating to see the kind of title she had before, content she's making, to what she's making now. I just don't buy it. I never did. At the end of the day, do I think she's some kind of race supremacist? No, I don't. I think she's just somebody who wants to make money. And her capitalistic mindset made her realize that black men will support a woman who echoes what they think, especially if she doesn't look like them. And so they threw money at her.
I don't think it's that deep.
Who found a way into the community and was able to make a lot of money off you guys.
I don't see that's the thing though, because it's not just black women who show up on the channel, and it's not just black women on there who says nonsense. Nor is she forcing these black women who go there to show up and say what they say. So I really don't see how that's an argument against her. It's different if she like giving them like lines to say and she's coaching them, or she's like egging them on to say something stupid. But so at the end of the day, these people control what they come out of their mouth. They're grown adults, and if we gonna treat them like grown adults, let them speak. Can't make excuses for them and put the blame on somebody else.
And she will continue because a lot of dudes are more concerned with getting back at women or showing them up than they are
That is
with
true.
actually getting to the truth of any situation. Because if
Yeah, that's why like I don't even now like I don't really try to mess with red pill stuff unless I'm using it for the channel, because for one I have a woman, but for two, like certain people are disingenuous with the stuff they say. Some people do have like a vendetta against women, which I think is just weird. If a woman treated you wrong, just stay the fuck away from her and never look back the best you can. Don't try to get one against her, because it's just going to waste your time and possibly get you in trouble with the law or just any other person. But I don't know. There are definitely people among the red pill who have a vendetta against women, but I don't think a whole channel just made up of men who have a vendetta against women. But I do see men in there who do say stuff, but it is often when like a crazy guest says something wild. And I don't know what you expect when somebody says something that's nonsense. The same thing happened with Kevin Samuel, his channel. And I don't remember people accusing, I don't remember Albert and Preach accusing Kevin Samuels of hating women or black women. That was just bullshit that black women said in response to the stuff that Kevin Samuels said. But once again, those women chose to go on their show, on his show, and then those women said what they wanted and he responded. I don't get it.
If you look at her, she's a giant flaming hypocrite. The thing that she is the exact thing that she preaches against. She ain't got no husband. She's a career-driven woman who's very, very argumentative and isn't submissive in any type of way. How's she the one to tell everyone how to live and what they should be, but she not even an example of the thing that she talks about? Y'all never found that shit kind of weird? And then on racial issues.
But at the same time, there are black women, like black women podcasts, who do the same thing, who agree with certain stuff like Kevin Samuel said, and they'll argue back and forth with women too. Shoot, there are dating coaches who go back and forth with certain women because their expectations are too high. And I don't see those women as masculine. If you hear something that's nonsensical, you just respond with what you think is logic. As long as you're not yelling, screaming again in people's faces, I don't see that as masculine. And her podcast is a debate show. So like she has to say something that she disagrees with when she disagrees. So it doesn't really seem like she's going against the same stuff she preaches when she's not just seeking battles by people by antagonizing them. At least with the stuff I've seen. I don't know. I haven't watched thousands and thousands and thousands of her content.
Issues, I don't even think that she's some kind of supremacist. I just think she's ignorant. That's it. I just think she's ignorant. And when a man came on the platform and said a bunch of stuff, she just didn't have the wherewithal or the ability to counter anything because she wasn't well read on it.
And there was a lot of things that she was agreeing on that, was whatever. But whatever.
I just think she just doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, which is true for many of the subjects that she talks on. None of this is surprising, so I thought this was actually kind of boring and dull. But yeah, what do you think?
It was just very expected. When I saw that shit, I was like, yeah. Yeah, what the fuck did you expect? Yeah. Of course.
See, the thing is that episode was like a month or two ago at this point, I think. So I can't even remember how strongly she debated against him, but I do remember Nick Fuentes saying a lot of nonsense. So I wish I could have debated him myself, because it's funny too, because I think somebody told me before, like he has like a percentage of like black DNA in him, but he's like this white nationalist or whatever. It's just ridiculous to me.
So whatever. It's a whatever sandwich to me.
And Nick tries to like massage it sometimes. He tries to pretend like he's not a white supremacist, but he is. Yeah, absolutely is. I remember one time he's like, no, fundamentally I'm more actually on my Christianity more than anything else. But then this guy in the conversation was advocating for like a white power structure. He wanted white people in charge. And then I remember I asked him a question.
That's white supremacy.
Nick, if you had to choose, you said Christianity is your most important criteria, right? He said, yeah. I said, okay. If you had to choose between marrying a black woman who's extremely Christian or marrying a white woman who's an atheist, what would you choose? The dude went quiet.
Oh, then
Bro, I
yeah.
thought you said
Come on.
Christianity
Yeah,
was a
Christian,
podcast
you
where
must
only
have.
choose-
Yeah. Come on, boy.
I'm like, bro, just say you love whiteness, man. Why you doing all
For
this
real.
Christianity bullshit? You know what I
Just be
mean?
honest.
Why you doing all this
Yeah,
acrobatics?
yeah.
At least we can get to the
He
point.
is
of
what
it
he
all.
is. It's fine when you accept it. You can have that conversation with him. You can push back on his ideas, but you need to actually acknowledge and do some research. And you didn't do that. And so with highly controversial guests, does it mean you can't have them on your platform? No, you can. You just got to get ready to actually push back on some of their ideas. That's it. So, anyways, this one's kind of boring to me, but everybody wanted us to cover it, so here it is. But I don't know what y'all want me to say. I couldn't believe y'all made this girl popular in the first place, but everyone's allowed to do whatever they want. So, you know, y'all
Freedom
support-
of speech for you, freedom
Exactly.
of speech for me. You're allowed to do some dumb shit, but I'm allowed to tell you dumb.
Absolutely. And you're allowed to tell us we're dumb too. I really think
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah.
Live your life.
You know how many times people say, yo, go on her podcast, go on her podcast. I'm like, why the fuck would I go on that weirdo's podcast? So I go sit there and tell women, you're unreasonable. Modern women are the problem. Oh, actually, this part was actually interesting. Some dude who worked with her. Remember the guy who said, I ain't got no problem with her? I got no problem with Abba and Preach?
Yeah.
I got bare smoke for you lot, bro. Both of you lot. I got smoke for Abba and Preach, bro. Bro, please don't mention it.
When you say that, don't say we, just say you.
I don't understand why y'all doing this little petty stuff back and forth over there. Like him saying that, like, focus on your channel, focus on putting out the content, focus on whatever you gotta say. Stop this little back and forth thing. Keep pushing out the content and stop the petty drama.
got smoke because I ain't got
That's
no
what I said.
smoke for no one.
No, that's
you
what I
know
said.
I'm
So this guy came out
Yeah.
saying, not only he debated a video saying like, yo, she takes over 80 to 85% of people's ad revenue.
Now, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show. And she said she would want me within her studio 4 days per week. I said, okay, from what time? She said from 10 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. I
That's
said,
about a full-time
working
job.
4 to 5 days a week for 7 hours is essentially a day job.
Yeah.
What is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries. She does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and
No,
she said,
of course
no,
she's.
70%
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey. And that's when I started scratching my head. I said, what's the low end? She said it's 10 to 15%.
Which is like a crazy split.
Damn.
Even when you account for business expenses and everything, that's a crazy
Yeah.
split. That Pearl, who's not even on the camera, will take 85% of what the person makes.
Wait.
Okay, from ad revenue.
What the fuck? Nah,
No
that's fucked
MCM,
up.
no like marketing.
Ain't no way
agency
hell I'ma
does
accept
So
that shit.
That's one. Two, one other thing that he said he was talking about the past. She ended up filing a bunch of DMC strikes again to try to get his video taken.
Of course.
It's just fine.
When people with no arguments
Yeah.
trying to push back on things, that's what they're gonna do.
DMCA strikes?
DMCA strikes
Of course she did. Of course she did.
that are not DMCA strikes.
Yeah.
Abusing the system.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyways,
some shit.
Let
That's,
us know what you guys think about this.
they should do something like if you try to get someone banned, if you try to get someone banned because you just don't like what they say, you should get like suspended yourself because you shouldn't be playing with people's money or people's income, hobbies or whatever. They invest their time into this shit regardless of how you feel about it. So if you don't like what they say, debate them. Don't try to throw out some fucking strike and use a system against them because if somebody did that to you, you'll be bitching, you'll be moaning, you'll be sending emails to YouTube and probably flexing your subscriber count and your viewers to try to get that shit overturned and changed. And maybe like not directly but indirectly harass that person using your fan base if you told them this person in particular sent a DMC strike against me because of the shit I said and they don't like it. That shit fucked up and I'm not going to defend no shit like that because that shit is weak.
I got much.
Ah, shit, that was in. Well, be honest, like I said at the beginning, I haven't gone back and seen Pearly's videos like since the first, I don't know, thousands or so. Because you got about like 6.4K videos on her channel. So there's no way in hell I'm going to go back that far and see the stuff she put back then. I just react to the more recent stuff and whether or not it makes sense or not. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But regardless, it's just content. If I react to Auburn Preach or Fresh and Fit, I'm gonna agree with and disagree with some stuff, and that's just natural. Some stuff that she does do and stuff they deal with in this video was pretty clownish to me. But it's crazy what you find out when people don't like what you say. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't like when people cancel or try to silence others, like the left or any other people try to do it. So I'm not gonna defend Pearly when she tried to do it either. Either way, it's fucked up, and I feel it's childish because if you don't like what they say, go and debate them or respond to the video, just like Our and Preach does. It's your boy Logos, and I'll talk to y'all next time.